OG Rose, and today we're going to be talking about our new class on writing literary fiction starting Saturday at Parallax, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're excited about it. We've always enjoyed teaching at Parallax with Andrew Sweeney and Tom. And the class is going to be divided into 3 sessions. The first will be on writing, the second on story, and the third on vision. Each one of those will be a great session. The first one, the title of the class is, what we wish we would have known. So the idea of the class is to save people a decade who are interested in writing fiction, notably literary fiction. And I think also the class benefits you if you're interested in, say, creative nonfiction, essay writing. I think it can help anyone because learning how to describe the world, learning how to write has an impact on how you see, how you can share your experience with other people. Like our ability to speak, our ability to use language actually has an impact on how we experience the world. Words are not merely signifiers. They exist in a feedback loop with us and they shape us in very profound ways. And the first session, is going to talk a bit about how, sentences in fiction have a particular role. They need to do something. Now, I know the objection can be that no one can claim what is the right way to do creative writing, and there's some truth to that. But there's also something to be said about, in the same way that no one should tell you the right way to do your home, there is something to be said that once you invite guests over, that there's a certain way that things can be done in your home so that it flows well, so that it is inviting, so that it's hospitable, and yet at the same time not dumbing down or not simplifying or not betraying what you believe in. There's an art there. So I think it goes with the particular structures and structuring of sentences that actually can afford a far greater experience of a story, of literary fiction. And we're going to be talking about that. Honestly, that mystery of how to write sentences in literary fiction was something that evaded us for just years and years. And then we had the great Sarah Wade brought something to our attention that was paradigmatic, and we are forever in her debt. So there's something that sentences need to do, and they need to be structured in order to accomplish that task. And so the first session will talk about that. The second on story is going to talk about how basically we're still in the paradigm of Aristotle's poetics. And certainly we're not going to be arguing that Aristotle was wrong or anything like that. We're going to argue that there's a certain sublation that's needed, to use Hegel's language. And the session will be talking a lot about Andrew and Alex's work on theme. They have a wonderful conversation with Karen at the Meaning Code. And we're going to talk about how we've mostly thought of stories as kind of lines where you go from here to there. But we actually need to think of stories and design stories to actually be more like a latent blossoming, where the initial conditions entail something that can unfold into the whole story. And that distinction makes a very big difference. The third session will be on vision and how there's a distinction for Michelle and I between vision and inspiration. You could say vision entails inspiration, but inspiration doesn't necessarily entail vision, and how that distinction makes a big difference. If we don't have a good sense of that, we can spend our entire life waiting around for inspiration to strike. And there is something to be said about inspiration, but I think it's Picasso who has this idea that, I believe in inspiration. It shows up every day at 7 a.m. And I think that starts to get at something very important. And what would it mean to have a vision for your life that makes your life a space where creativity occurs, where things unfold? And so we're going to be talking about that. And again, the class starts on Saturday. You can sign up. The link is in the description of the video. We would love to have you. If you have any questions, please put them in the video description. Put them in the chat, the comments section. That would be fantastic. And thank you for your time. And again, sign up for the class. We'll be starting Saturday. If you can't make the classes live, there will be recordings, and there will also be writing sessions. There's tiers for writing sessions. There's tiers for one-on-one meetings, and we would love to have you. We're very much looking forward to it. All the best.